Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We are here at the TaylorMade offices and we are going to be doing some yardage gapping because I have no idea about any of the yardages on my clubs. But before we get into it, let's go to the studio. This is their brand new golf simulator room, which also has an incredible putting area. This uses putt view. There's some slight undulations which I cannot see right now, but they are there and it's actually really cool. We've got loads of putters here that you can test. Basically, this room is so you can match yourself to the right clubs, custom fitting. This is the wonderful golf simulator, which I dream to have every single day of my life. And then we have the lovely, gorgeous Mark over there, who's going to be helping us today doing a bit of a yardage gapping session because I've never properly done one before.
Yeah, I mean, I would do that as part of my standard fitting with most elite players. So yeah, I'm going to just take you through a gapping session today. Make sure your irons are all spaced out as they should be. You kind of understand how far you hit each club and hopefully improve your game a little bit.
I also have a hybrid and a wood.
Yeah, we'll go through it all. We'll go through the whole bag.
Sounds good. This is fancy.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah. And then it'll give us a summary afterwards of your gap between each club, you know, where you tend to miss each club.
What are we looking for, carry or total or all of it?
So we always, with good players, would only work off carry because, you know, if you're playing a par 3 and you need to carry some water or you need to carry a bunker or off the tee you need to carry a bunker, you always need to know, can I cover that distance to carry it? So that's why we're always working off carry. That's all your clubs loaded up there, so then we'll start the test.
I only have 10 clubs in my bag.
Yeah.
I have
you're
so much space.
So yeah, good job we're doing a gapping session.
That's what I mean. I'm like, everyone's like, oh, which one should I take out? I'm like, hun, I've got so many more I need to put in.
Yeah, we're going to fill a couple of gaps today. Start with the lob wedge. So basically you need 3 good hits. You can hit more, you can hit 5, 6, 7 shots, but you need at least 3 to get a good average. So I think let's go for 5 shots with each club.
Okay.
If there's a miss hit or something in there, don't worry about it, just carry on and we'll just delete it. And we'll work off your sort of, you know, your decent enough strikes. Great shot.
I'm actually not that bad in a simulator, so when I get out on the course, the wonky ground just throws me. They're not too bad, they're kind of
a little bit long, but actually they're pretty good, yeah. I think you've got 3 really good ones in there. So it's not always about, you know, hitting it the furthest. It's about keeping that, like you say there, 97, 101, 100. Keep that front to back distance. Very good. Great shot. But you can see there's definitely a right bias to all of these, look.
That is interesting, actually. You can see.
That one there, potentially like a bit of a counteraction where you tried to not miss it right, because it was a bit of a low left one.
Oh, it's really heavy.
Yeah, great contact there.
That was quite good, actually.
I think that's enough.
Oh yeah, everything's leaky right today. I just feel like I'm not hitting them well.
That's right.
Okay, this little
We're
fella,
on to the,
I hit him good once in my life.
So that one, 6 and the 5 are definitely going to flag up there as, you know, as a problem area in the distance gapping for sure.
That is a cause for concern.
Yeah.
For any golfer, it's going probably less far than my 9 iron, so that is a cause for concern.
Like I say, we work off carry, but you can see from the 6 iron that it didn't want to kind of get it up in the air.
Yeah.
I think with this one now, you're going to, obviously, you should see that change a little bit. There we go.
Even that was heavy and it's not awful.
Heavy, but that sounded great.
Yeah, that was good. Oh.
Nice. Ripped it.
What?
Little draw.
I'm actually learning how to shape my shots by like feel now. I'm leveling up. That's it.
So yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
basically
it.
that's it. We've obviously gone through all the bag.
My heart is pumping.
This should give us a good indication.
Oh wow, view my
yeah.
report.
Obviously for a lot of handicap golfers, we're trying to make the game easier, hit the ball a little bit further.
Yeah.
But like we can sort of see here, it's not always beneficial.
Yeah.
Because you're leaving a huge gap here between your pitcher and your 9-iron, where in reality you're probably hitting 3, 4, 5 shots around, and then you're bunching up. You've got 4 or 5 clubs there, all within a sort of 25-yard gap or something like that. So I mean, looking at that, my first thought would be obviously you need to get yourself a sandwich to get something in that sort of 70, 75 yard, which I know you've got. But I would probably, my first recommendation off the top of my head would be, right, we weaken the 9-iron by a full degree, which should take that back down to about a 10-yard gap. And then we weaken the 8-iron by half a degree. By the time we've spaced these out a little bit, that's going to look pretty nice and pretty even. So, I'd probably be adding the clubs up this end of the bag. Because you hit this and this, the strikes were very, very good. So there's no reason why you can't get on with a 5-wood and get a little bit more out of it.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, I've never seen so much stuff, and when that first came out, I had no idea what was on the screen, but now I understand. I would never have even have thought that you could weaken a club. I just thought a club is what a club is. You know what I mean? Like, I just like, well, that's a 9-iron. That sucks. Sucks for me.
And it's not always like, there's a bit of an ego thing, isn't there? Like, oh,
yeah.
I don't want to hit, I hit my 9-iron 120 yards. I don't want to hit it 110 yards. But actually,
that's what it is.
If you want to be a better golfer, you've got to fill out your gaps a little bit. I'm going to take all of these, but I'm probably just going to bend, like I said, the 8 and the 9-iron. So we'll go down to the workshop.
Okay, cool. All right, this is the special room that you guys have actually been in here before. If you haven't seen that YouTube video, you should totally check it out. This is Mark's office, where he gets to do all the cool stuff, like bend clubs. What are you actually doing?
So I am going to record the loft and lie of each of your clubs. So like we said, it was the 9-iron and the 8-iron specifically from a gapping point of view that we need to move. But just while I'm here, I'm going to check the rest as well, just to make sure they all kind of flow nicely, because you were striking the sort of shorter irons really well. So I think lie angle wise, they're nice. It's just the 8 and the 9-iron, like I say, it's the loft. But I want to make sure the longer irons like blend in lie wise as well, because obviously the strike was quite obviously not quite as good with the longer irons. So let's just write them all down and see how they flow. So yeah, 2 degrees upright, like you said, you were right. For me, the 6-iron is half a degree out to the rest, and then the 5-iron's 2 degrees out to the rest. I think you're actually going to find it easier to hit the 5-iron now we actually move it. But I would still. So let's go back now, and now we've got the specs and the data on all of them. We'll do what we were going to do, which was weaken off the 9-iron by a degree, weaken off the 8-iron, and I'm just going to nudge that 5 and 6-iron a little more upright, just to fit in with the rest of your bag, because I think the strike quite obviously deteriorated in those ones, and like I say, they get a little bit flatter, so I'm going to put them in line with the rest of the clubs that you were hitting really well. And then we'll go and we'll hit them again, hit a few shots with each one.
I'm really excited.
Hopefully you'll see some improvements.
Where can someone go to get this done?
Well, there are places that, there's more and more of them popping up as well. More kind of fitting centres popping up with this sort of facility. You could go and just get a full bag, check over, check,
Like if you find one club is particularly bad and you're confused why, it could be good to get it checked.
Well, yeah, that comes down to a little bit of knowing, you've got a lot of ranges nowadays with, the TrackMan or Top Tracer type. If you identify, I've been missing my 7-iron a lot, but actually the rest of the bag's okay, that might be an indication that club could be a little bit out. Or, you're just on the course and you don't like going to one particular club for whatever reason. You said your 5 and your 6-iron a little bit. Well, I think they're a little bit flatter than the rest of the bag. You check that sort of thing out, you move it, you try it again. But yeah, there's obviously ranges all over the place nowadays that have, the sort where you've got the capability to, not necessarily on an indoor sim, but know your data.
Are you just bending the club with metal on metal?
Yeah, okay, lies. Okay, perfect. So that one now should be exactly as we want it.
Perfect.
So you're going to hit it a little bit shorter, but that's a good thing.
This freaks me out. I don't know why. I just can see the whole club Nothing.
Well, I've never broke one in here yet, so I think you're safe. They're actually pretty hard to break, to be honest.
I know, the people seem to break them. I guess they don't break that bit, they just break
No.
the shaft, isn't it?
You can see the amount of force I'm putting on it as well.
That's
how much
why
you have
I'm
to...
getting like stressed.
I sort of increase the force because then you can sort of feel when it moves. Okay, so that should be good. And then let's tweak these ones as well, like we said, just to match the flow of those lie angles.
This is a 6 iron now.
This is the 6.
Then the 9, the 8, and then...
So I'll keep the loft as it is on here because getting a good contact is probably the most important thing. So once we get a solid contact, then we'll be able to gauge the distance a little bit easier.
Oh, so you move them forwards and backwards and left and right.
Yeah, so if I bend it that way, it's flatter. Obviously that way is upright. That way is more loft, and to you is less loft.
Interesting.
Right, let's go and hit these again.
I'm interested. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, that just sits way better now. Like, when I say way better, just in
The
line.
same.
Yeah, in line with the rest of your set. So, good.
Who'd have known? I would
So-
never have known, in all honesty. Would never have known.
Let's, just out of interest, hit a couple of shots with these. So yeah, this is your 9 iron.
Okay.
So I think we can just go onto the range.
I don't know why, but they feel shinier, as if they're like new, even though they are the same.
So this one, ideally we want this one probably like 110 to 115, I would say.
Oh, that was a good shot.
Yeah, solid contacts.
Oh, that was a
little bit thin,
thin.
yeah. So we'll move on to the 8 iron now, but let's just quickly analyse those ones. You know, if we take out the couple of warm-up shots and then we look at where these sort of ones were in the middle there, take out the last one which you thinned a little bit, it's giving us an average carry of 111. So I think that bridges that gap down to your pitch and wedge much better. So we don't want to take too much off of this because it was at 126 before. So I would say we need it to be around about the 120-ish. Low 120s, yeah. Good. There you go. So, I mean, that one was good, 120. So let's go to that table. So you see there, look, we were carrying it before 126. It's now 121.
nice. So we've took 5 yards.
Taken 5 yards off of it, which gives you now like a 14-yard gap up to your 7 iron. It's good. It's in that sort of 11 to 14-yard sweet spot, which I like. So far, they've kind of done, you know, what we needed them to do. Taken a little bit of loft off the 8 iron, a bit more off the 9 iron.
That's nice. 111 with my 9, 121 with my 8. 10 yards, perfect.
I think let's hit the 6 iron and 5 iron again, just to see if they're, now they're, you know, we've moved the lie a little bit. Well, let's just see if they're easier to make contact, because, you know, I'll be interested as well. Well, it went straighter, which I like.
Yeah, that's good. That was a bit right, but...
Yeah, but it should be going about the same distance. Yeah, look, so you're 142, 144 there. So it's going the same distance, but actually, certainly looking at those first 4 shots, I mean, if we took out the one...
They look a bit, apart from that one, they're like...
If we took out the short left one, which was a little bit of a heavy strike, I would say 4 out of the 5 of those are quite acceptable, and all within that kind of low 140 carry area.
Oh, stop!
That was way better, wasn't it?
That was so much better, just to hit it like that.
Yeah.
I've never hit a 5 iron that pure.
That's why it's so important, like loft and lie is so important. 2 degrees,
Stop.
and it's like completely changed the way you make contact with the ball.
Oh my God, it's not a fluke. She can actually hit the ball.
So again, we know how far the 5 hybrid goes. We know we like that one. So should we hit the 4? Yeah, here we go.
What were we looking for?
About 160, 158, 160 would be ideal. Yeah, so I would sort of expect that where the shaft's a little bit heavier.
Oh, that was very left.
So just hit this one for us as well.
What's the difference in this one? Oh, it's the HD.
Yeah, this is the HD head. It's your shaft, it's just a stiffer flex. You'd sort of expect. But I think if you got this one in your spec, I mean, you've had, most of these have carried past where your 5 hybrid was carrying, and you were hitting good shots with them as well. Those first couple were carrying like in the high 150s, and your average with the 5 was 148. So I think with your shaft and your head, that combination, I think you'd easily hit the 160 mark.
We basically tested those ones because we didn't have the exact specs that I would have tested with.
They're obviously not the adjustable heads, so these ones, they're the fixed heads. Perfect. Should we do a little bit on the driver?
Let's do the driver.
So I've got another shaft here. Would likely end up in your shaft. It's, you know, it's one variable we're taking out by testing other shafts, but if I think I can maybe get a bit more out of another shaft, then we'll test one or two others.
Okay.
But you know, if you're quite comfortable and confident with this, I see not a lot of reason to change the shaft.
Anything.
Good contact. That's close. Good one. There we go.
See?
On the green. See the tendency anyway. You can see the miss shot there. So this is the Stealth 2 Plus.
Plus.
As a fitter, I tend to lean on the Plus models a little bit more just because I like being able to make quick and easy adjustments to them. Not saying necessarily that's the one we're going to end up in. But
what is the difference between a Plus?
So the Plus model tends to be a little bit lower spin. So it has a little bit of a more forward center of gravity. So you can see obviously with this sliding weight here, it has a little bit more weight up front. So obviously I've got the benefit of being able to make it more fade bias, more draw bias, or kind of stabilize a toe hit or a heel hit. So obviously with your tendency with driver, I have put the weight straight away just in the heel there, and I've lofted it up to 11. Like I say, this is a slightly lower spinning driver, I would say, than the one you've got. So a little bit more loft is going to help. It should also help kind of square up that face angle a little bit as well.
There we go. Had to turn my hand.
I think, like I say, we'll definitely compare it on your shaft as well, but I'm just...
So what's this club?
This is a 9 degree.
Okay.
But I've set it up to 10.5, so
all right.
it's basically squaring that face angle a little bit.
Oh, that went straight, didn't it?
Yeah. This shaft I thought worked pretty well for you in the fairway woods and the hybrid, so it makes sense for me that we try it in this shaft.
What is the difference between the blue one and the red one?
This one is a little bit lighter. I would say it's slightly higher launching. I may be able to get away with even less loft than this and try and increase the ball speed a bit. This one is also, you can see on here it says CB, so it's a counterbalance, means the weight is a little bit higher, which is why it's kind of a unique profile. The balance point, if you like, is a little bit higher, so it feels like the weight is nearer this end of the club rather than maybe more in the head, which most traditional shafts would be. As they get a bit tighter down the bottom here, they tend to feel a bit more weight in the head through the swing, whereas on something like this, a CB, you'd feel a bit more weight in the hands.
Oh, okay.
So it's a different feel, slightly different sensation, but that's why I definitely want to come back to this one, because you know, it's something that you're very used to, but I'm just sort of searching around, seeing if there's something else that feels good.
That was bad.
Pretty good. Nice and straight. Right, let me take the loft down a little bit.
That felt good,
one.
but it shouldn't. It feels like it should have gone further. Everyone says that. It should have gone further. I'm actually putting in effort, even though it doesn't look like it, but I actually am.
Bit thin. Good contacts.
There we go, I got my draw shape I wanted. Okay, so this has got my shaft in it now.
Your shaft, yeah. It definitely comes out a bit lower, doesn't it?
Yeah, that came out lower.
Probably go back up in the loft, I would say, on this shaft.
You couldn't tell I'm working on trying to hit a draw, could you, from all the slices I've hit today?
That was a good swing. You've definitely hit it straighter with this head. You've actually hit a few draws with it. You didn't hit a draw with your one. All right, and just try this head for me as well.
So what's this one?
So this is just with your shaft.
But turned up to 10 degrees.
Yeah, turned up to 10 degrees.
This one's good.
Yeah, it is good. It's really close, to be honest. And like I say, I think it's easier to draw than your one because the shape is a little bit easier. So even that one there, look, not the perfect strike. You can tell when it starts left. It's not exactly what you're trying to do with your club path. But you take that one as a result because that's in the fairway. It's not slicing.
Oh, that went left. Well, this girl can hit left.
I think this is the best setup
option.
I would take that one because I think it's easier for you to draw. You know, I would take it on the course a couple of times, or even take both drivers on the course and hit one with each. I think you'll find that this one is straighter. You'll hit more fairways with this one because it's much easier for you to start it left. You know, when everything aligns and you hit your driver with this shaft and everything, you know, you have hit your best drive of the day with your old one. But I would say you've definitely hit more fairways
with this one.
The miss has been straighter with this one.
I think that's the thing though, like you change your swing so much in golf that you're like, oh, now I have to get a new head, but you actually don't have to. If you just had this one, you can just switch it up and down, can't you?
Exactly. I mean, that's...
And I love this shaft, so I just use it all the time. So
yeah, I mean, I would stick to it. It was a bit like your kind of familiarity feeling, the positive vibes when you were bigging up your 7-wood and your hybrid. You know,
I'm a confidence player.
Yeah, confidence was high, so, you know, why change one of the variables like that? So, you know, keep the variable the same, just get the best setup we can out of this head, which I think is this one. And like I say, if you start overdrawing it now, because I think it's easier to draw than your one, you know, you can just take a little bit of the face angle, you know, square up the face angle a little bit and go from there. Thank you so much. This has been the most interesting but like beneficial to my game experience ever. Good. Yeah, well, like I say, this is the sort of thing I would take any good player that I have in for a fitting through, just to, you know, fine tune those little details, and hopefully it was interesting for you. And so I don't know why I've not done it sooner. I don't know why I just kind of avoid it. Well, I don't think most people do. You know, most people go for a fitting to find out what length, what shaft. Actually, a gapping, for me, it's just about squeezing a bit more out of the tools that you have. Yeah, I think everyone, you should probably do some gapping with your yardages, because you can be in the same situation as me where I'm like, I don't know what club to use here. So yeah, we'll give you all your yardages, your new yardages. So you're going to know, you know, how far you hit each club, what the gap is between each one, and yeah, go play golf and hopefully we get some good feedback. Thank you so much. Guys, if you do gap your yardages, let me know how it goes and whether it's changed your game, because I actually think it's way more beneficial than I even thought it was. And after today, I have validated myself. Okay, that was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in golf so far. However, for your knowledge, these are all of the clubs that I had in my bag and the gappings that they currently were. And then we've got the changes that we've made, and we've also got the clubs that I'm going to take out and the clubs that I'm hopefully going to put in. And then in terms of the driver, we have gone for the Stealth 2 9 degree, which is turned up to a 10 degree head. And then we've also got my old shaft, my lovely shaft, because it's just my comfort zone. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will catch up with you very soon. Bye.